Good morning. I'm Jill Duplechan. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Physician Enterprise Southern California region. And I'm here today to update you on where we are with our Phreesia application, which, as all of you know, is what we've brought in and used to register and check in our patients during the COVID crisis. As you know, Phreesia was brought in May to help us most importantly check in those patients that were receiving care through telehealth visits. As we returned to a face-to-face environment, we started using Phreesia for all of our patients and had really anticipated that when we brought it in, it would be an amazing solution for us and a replacement from the system that we had used historically for registration. We've had some bumps along the way. Nobody can tell us that better than all of you, and I wanted to first and foremost thank each of you who were open and brave enough when we did survey activity, as well as having representatives from our performance improvement and TI teams come out and meet with you in July and August to talk to us about what was really happening with Phreesia in your environments. We learned some things. Most importantly was the way in which Phreesia had actually made some of your jobs more difficult. It was such a sobering message because if anything, Phreesia was brought in to ease your way, and it ended up in some cases really just not being that at all. And so I want to talk about the why just for a moment. We had expected that when we brought Phreesia in, we'd have a few weeks of bumps. We'd rapidly integrated into TouchWorks and we would be on our way. We unexpectedly had a TouchWorks upgrade that has taken several months, and during that time, integration isn't possible. And so we're still sitting today where we were in May, in a space that for many of you has been demonstratedly frustrating, challenging, and discouraging. And so this is what we'd like to do from this point forward. We know that we will have a point where we integrate Phreesia into TouchWorks. We think that will happen mid to late October. That's, a good 4 to 6 weeks from now. And so what we'd like to offer is this, as a response to all the feedback that we heard and in an genuine acknowledgement to ease your way in the small ways that we can during this time. Each of our sites has the ability to make a decision on whether we continue to use Phreesia for our face-to-face visits, or if we would like to rather just use it for only telehealth. We are going to continue to use Phreesia from this point forward for all of our telehealth visits. That will remain. But until we fully integrate Phreesia into TouchWorks and have it working the way that we know it optimally can, we're going to give each site the choice to pause on using it for face-to-face visits or to continue using it for everyone. Now, sites is defined a little bit differently in each area. Some areas, it's an entire building. Other areas, it's a receptionist station within a building. Your leaders will be working with you within the next week so that you can make your individual choice. We will be hard at work behind the scenes, integrating Phreesia into TouchWorks and optimizing it so it can be the engine we know it can truly be. Once we have that optimization nailed down, we will be phasing Phreesia back into our clinics. You might say, why is that? We're all going to be going to a TouchWorks transition to Epic in March. We know that training for Epic will be starting in January. The question has come, well, are we going to have Phreesia in Epic? The short answer for when we launch in March, I think, will be not yet. What the system has committed to do is to evaluate Phreesia as an opportunity for the entire system to have a better and stronger registration system. They need our experience of using Phreesia in its full functionality to be able to drive that decision-making process. It's why I'll be asking each of you as we optimize Phreesia and it comes back online in November to re-adopt it for all of our visits so we have that experience to share with the region. Now, I don't think that decision will be rendered before we go live in Epic in March. So it is likely that we will have a registration and module in Epic to begin with, and perhaps Phreesia can be added on at a later time. That is our hope. The last piece I want to mention is copays. Some of you know that we had a copay pilot launched in Mission, had some challenges, wasn't optimal. We paused in Mission, And now we have one of our additional sites in Orange County that is asking for an ability to try that again once it's been optimized. We are going to afford that opportunity to that site, but we will not be rolling out a copay module to the rest of our caregivers in Orange County and High Desert until that pilot is completed and we know that it can work. I want to conclude by apologizing for the bumps in the road that I think are just most difficult to go through when we're already in an incredibly difficult time. I want to express my and our as a leadership team appreciation to you as the caregivers who have slogged through it, who have done everything you can to serve our patients optimally. And we're so generous in your feedback and support with us as we were going through this. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video this morning. Any feedback or comments you have, please direct those to your immediate leader who will get them back up to us. Thank you again.